The NBA claims it hates tanking. Commissioner Adam Silver has called it harmful to the integrity of the game. Teams get fined, coaches get investigated. But yet, every time a generational prospect enters the draft, the worst teams in basketball are the ones who benefit.
What?
Victor Wembanyama, Cooper Flagg, even LeBron James. Every can't-miss star creates the same behavior. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Sports fans, the NBA doesn't have a tanking problem. It has an incentive problem. Think about it this way. If losing increases your odds at a generational player, but being a mid-tier team who tries super hard but doesn't have the resources to get there doesn't benefit you, then losing isn't failure. It's a strategy. And you can't publicly condemn something while privately designing the system to reward it. It makes no sense.
Adam Silver said, according to The Athletic, I would just say, Sean, quote, you should assume for next season your only incentive will be to win games. Adam Silver, quote, went at the tanking GMs. That's what.
Are you sure about that?
My beloved Miami Heat is a great example of this. Pat Riley refuses to tank and build through the draft. Even when we get high draft picks, outside of Dwayne Wade, we usually pick older dudes later on in the draft and then try to swing for an already incumbent star. And where exactly has that gotten Miami in the last 5 years? Absolutely nowhere. Yes, there were excellent final runs, of course, and we were very happy in this as Miami fans, but at the end of the day, we were riding guys way past their prime and then getting to the finals being completely and utterly outmatched. So in short, Miami should have tanked when they had the opportunity.
I got this rat gnawing, eating fucking rat, and it brings up questions.
Then they could have rebuilt their team around a bevy of young, high draft picks instead of constantly having to swing for the fences, right? Let's talk about what just happened over the past 2 to 3 years. The year Victor Wembanyama entered the draft, multiple teams had every reason to lose and were openly trying to do so. And when the lottery balls settled, the Spurs, one of the worst teams in the league for a long time, landed him. Now look at the aftermath. National TV games spike, merchandise spikes, ticket sales definitely spike.
Take that for data.
The NBA claimed to condemn tanking, but yet it profited from the outcome. That's the contradiction. Because every generational prospect creates the same economic wave. And when that wave hits, the bottom teams are positioned to catch it. So in short, in today's age and stage, at this juncture, tanking for NBA teams is 100% worth it. And the media solution? Well,
because these teams are so bad and they've been tanking for so long, instead of having that crisis in the years to come, I say just get rid of the draft altogether.
Yeah, cool story, bro. When you have 32 teams who have the same amount of roster spots and the same amount of salary cap, you're gonna need some form of order for people to draft. So the draft is highly necessary unless you're saying let's change the entire foundation of the NBA. So this is a dumb solution and it's not gonna work in any world. Plus, the other real question we have to ask is drafting actually a skill? Because if you think about it, why are certain teams always at the top and why are other teams always at the bottom if they have the same equity for draft rights? Well, because drafting is absolutely a skill. And we have a great example of that too. How can a conversation with tanking be held without homage to the Philadelphia 76ers? Instead of like the rest of the NBA, who did their tanking shame behind closed doors, the Sixers went the opposite way and were openly tanking for multiple years. They even had a name for it. They called it the process. And despite having one high draft pick after another and absolutely and utterly wasting them and one may argue ruining their careers, what has the NBA done to prevent this? Oh yeah, diddly squat. So much so that just this past year, A Philadelphia Sixers team that employs Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey somehow still got the third pick in the draft with VJ Edgecombe. Again, Adam Silver can say whatever he wants about hating tanking to the public.
Behavior that is worse this year than we've seen in recent memory, yes, is my view, and which was what led to those fines.
Stop the cap.
But in truth, it's significantly rewarded. Philadelphia management should be in jail for the way they treated their draft picks, but yet they continue to get rewarded. Why? Because it means money for bigger market teams like Philadelphia, and at the end of the day, that's what the NBA cares about. Oh, but what about the play-in? That's supposed to help combat tanking because we're providing more incentive mid-season. And you could say it helped, but only at the margins. More teams stay competitive longer, but truthfully, once you're clearly outside that play-in bubble, and that's established pretty quickly, the math shifts again. And again, I think the play-in was an awesome idea, but in truth, I don't think it's really designed to stop tanking. It's more designed to generate interest early on in the NBA season because ratings were dropping. And if you think about it from the vantage point of pure economics, if you're a 12 seed, why would you try that hard if instead you just experiment a little, finish the season poorly, and get a generational prospect in return? Easy peasy. So in short, the NBA loves to publicly say it hates tanking because that's the right thing to say, but in private, secretly, or not so secretly, heavily benefits from it. So that being said, is there even a real solution? Yes, there is. You're probably not gonna like it, but your boy Big V is gonna tell it to you anyway. The only real way to prevent NBA tanking is to outsource the draft to a third-party institution. And here's why. That way then, this third-party institution, when draft time comes, would take into account a multitude of factors, not just the record. They can see, oh, this team has been tanking. This team has been ineffective for many years. This team, aka the Philadelphia Sixers, has wasted careers of draft picks. And this way, you get punished for tanking because it's a third party. No one is benefiting from it. Right now, tanking is a smart business strategy and it gets rewarded. You take away the reward, you take away the strategy.